Hi, this is your girl Elsie Clements here with a March vlog update. It's been a chaotic month. If you see I'm wearing makeup today, I'm feeling a little extra, so I decided, you know what? I guess I've been in the mood because I've been watching America's Next Top Model, which America's Next Top Model is a very controversial show, but sometimes I'll watch it just to see the poses. Maybe if I want to do an Instagram post going, oh, with a spider, I'm gonna look so beautiful with my back and ice cold temperatures as I'm freezing. And let me get my eyes so I can smile with my eyes, which is very hard to do because then you look bug-eyed staring. So I was messing around with my makeup and I was watching AMTM and I was like, okay, let me put some makeup on. So this has been the most chaotic couple of weeks. My job, which I've talked about in a previous vlog, might do a mid-month vlog if God will allow it. It's been a rough couple of weeks. What basically happened was I was switched to a different part of the state agency, and now I'm working as, I don't want to tell you the department, but basically it switched my shift from 11:30 to 8 till 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I like it and I hate it at the same time. First of all, I've never been 100% a morning person, so to even prepare my body and my brain to get on that shift, I spent 2 weeks prior to knowing that my shift was going to change to go into bed earlier, because I know how the first week's gonna be. And surprisingly, doing those 2 weeks of sleeping early and getting up at 6:45 when my husband gets up, and you know, even though I had that whole morning to myself, kind of helped me work-wise, because I know I'm not a morning person. So it kind of adjusts my body to actually go to bed earlier, because I'm not usually going to bed till 1:30, because I ain't got to be to work till 11:30, so I can sleep in till, like, let's say 8 or 9 o'clock and still be in time for work at 11:30, where I don't have that luxury. I got to be there 8 o'clock on the dot, logged in, taking phone calls. And unlike the other line I'm on, this call, there's no gap between the phone calls. Like the call center I normally work for, there's a gap between phone calls. You might get a couple minutes of resting before you have to take the next call. I won't go into all the technical details, but there is a call waiting, and it tells you how many minutes between call waiting. This one, it's back to back to back to back. And it's engagement, but it's the weirdest thing. And how do I put it? And I'm not going to take too long about my job, but I did want to explain a little bit. And if I keep looking at my watch, it's because I didn't know this until someone told me Apple Watch actually lets you control the camera wirelessly, which actually helps me a lot to make sure I'm positioned perfectly, to make sure my storage isn't full. That's why I keep looking back at it. But shut up, Siri. But yeah, my Siri came up. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, it's different when you're working in a call center. I don't know if anybody out there, I've talked about it on my TikTok before, working a call center job, but and again, the link's down below. But here's the thing, you get time between phone calls to really get yourself together for the next phone call, where this particular line is back to back to back to back, and it's general information, so it's a little different from what I'm used to doing. You know, you're gonna have people who are very upset. You know, first of all, when you're in a call center, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be working with money, and either you're gonna be taking money, you're gonna be reapplying payments, people are gonna ask you, how come I haven't gotten a deposit yet, or any of that nature. So when you're working with money, people are very testy, which is understandable. You know, you screw with somebody's money, you're probably gonna get the brunt end of it, even though they know in the back of their heads that you're not the person controlling their money, it's somebody else. But you're still gonna feel it. That's part of, you know, call center work, which come August will be my 8th year doing this. So I'm kind of used to it at this point, which is why I don't even get perturbed when I'm at the store getting food and stuff. If someone even gets an attitude with a cashier, I'm kind of, I kind of stick up for them at this point, because I'm like, I've been there, I've done this, and let me tell you something, you should not be talking to people any type of way because you're pissed off about whatever situation you're dealing with. I get it. It's like I'll give you a great example. There was a woman at the store. She was really pissed off about $2 dang for, it was croissant, like jelly-filled donut. It was some pastry that she didn't get her little $2 off on because someone who works in the store did not put the right label on, which it happens from time to time. She goes up there because the employee who was standing there, I guess, stocking, said, oh, just go up there, we'll give you the $2 off. They go up there, customer service tells them, no, you don't get the $2 off. And she goes back and forth. And I literally asked the lady, is there an expiration? Because this girl was younger than me, who was at the customer service thing, and you could tell this girl was about to cry. So I asked the lady, do you see an expiration date? And she's like, what's this got to do? I'm like, I'm just asking, I want to help the situation. Do you see an expiration date? And she said, yes. And I'm like, can I see the expiration date? We can look at it together. I put my glasses on and I said, ma'am, this is from a week ago. They cannot honor something that happened a week ago. It literally says valid right here. And the lady goes off on me and I'm like, well, you can get mad at me all you want to, but just remember, lady, it's $2. $2. You could, what you gonna get for $2? You gonna go down to McDonald's and get a soda with a $1 menu? Maybe a fry? Maybe, two sausage breakfast burritos that don't even fill your stomach? And after that, she kind of just left. And, the lady, the girl was so frustrated. She, the girl at the cashier register, she walked away. I was there to pick up my food order because I pre-ordered groceries before and just picked them up because of the pandemic. But I'm just saying all this to say I work customer service enough where it doesn't get people being nonsensical to others who work in the customer service industry does kind of irk me. But I'm saying I've been there, I've done that. Like, that's part of the reason why I stopped doing retail, is because people get mad over like a freaking penny. Like, even in my job, they get mad at you over a doggone penny. You'd be like, just pay the penny. Why are you mad? It's a penny. Like, pay it. And I know what my supervisor always tells me, you don't know their house, you don't know what's going on in their house, you don't know what's going on, why they're so mad about the penny. I'm like, and of course, though at the same time she does realize, like, it's just a penny. Pay it. But, working in a call center job, it does, you have to kind of learn to be adaptable, and I had to learn to be adaptable in that situation. Now, the downside, much as I love kind of working the day shift, because after 4:30, I don't have to, I kind of have the day, light, and the rest of the evening to myself. But there is a and this is only for 6 months thing for now. There is a downside to this. And the downside is, after about 4:30-ish, let's say you need something done in the city. Like right now, I'm going through a situation where I need to get my COVID-19 vaccination, and the place I would call in the area, a lot of places shut down at 4:30. Some shut it down at 5, but most places shut down at 4:30. So there is a double-edged sword. So I have to take time during my breaks and lunches to call people. Like right now, I'm, trying to track people down so I can get my vaccination. And I'm not even going to get into the debate if I should get vaccinated or not. I have asthma. I've had pneumonia 3 times. I've been in the hospital for pneumonia. I have to go to the doctors to get my pneumonia shot. I'm severely overweight. So much as people talk about the COVID vaccine, look, I've been vaccinated multiple times for multiple situations. I don't have rabies or anything like that. It's just I had pneumonia. So every 5 years I have to get pneumonia shot. I get a flu shot every year. I have to get these things. If I don't, I've been in the hospital multiple times, not just 3 times for pneumonia, about 5 times for the flu. I end up in the ICU with a oxygen mask on my face, and my husband nearly could not sleep. The last time I got pneumonia, my husband could not sleep. He was seeing me every day in the ICU until they put me in a regular room, and I had to pretty much force my body to get up out of bed so I could walk back and forth because I wanted to get off the oxygen. That was the point. When you're in the hospital, you can't really sleep. They tell you to get plenty of rest. You're not really resting in the hospital. Let me tell you what you're really doing in the hospital. What you're doing in the hospital is you kind of close your eyes like this. You're trying to get a little comfortable. Now, let's say you're supposedly morbidly obese like I am. I had to get they had to put me on a diabetes regulated diet while I was in there, which is really gross. It's really gross, but you kind of deal with it because, I had to deal with it. That's just the way it was. They also had to give me a shot in my stomach or my thigh for high blood pressure. And my blood pressure was already up when I went into there for my pneumonia. But this happened about 2 years ago, by the way. I was already in the hospital for pneumonia. So when you're on pneumonia medicine and you're considered overweight, your diabetes go up because you can't move. Like if you have diabetes, I'm pre-diabetic, but I'm not diabetic. I have PCOS, so that puts me in the range, according to my doctor, of pre-diabetic, which I have to change up my diet and I have to move around more, but that's a whole different subject for a whole different day. When you're in the hospital, you're sitting in bed. So imagine you have pneumonia. You're considered pre-diabetic and you're already taking medication. The medication could raise your blood pressure, which is what it did to me. So I'm getting like every 6 or 7 hours, it was like roughly 6 to 8 hours, a shot in my tummy or a shot in my thigh. I rather got my tummy because my thigh stung more because it was like a burning sensation every time they put it in. So imagine that every 6 to 8 hours. You sleeping. They give you cable, but now this happened around Christmas time. So basically I only had the chance between watching Miraculous Ladybug, 25 Days of Christmas, and talk shows, Home and Garden, soap operas. Oh my God, just reliving those days of that's what I'm saying. There's a top of other things. So thank God my husband brought my laptop, but the Wi-Fi in the hospital sucks because everybody's using the free Wi-Fi. You think anybody's gonna not use the free Wi-Fi? So the Wi-Fi kind of sucks. So this around the time I was watching Ruby. So imagine watching Ruby, then in your half sleep, you get these shots. They're giving you medication, keep changing your IV. You have to pee all the time, which means I had to get up and walk to the door because thank God I had a hospital room by myself. I had one with a child. That's because I was short. I'm 4'11", so they tried to put me in the pediatric ward because there were no beds available at the time, but then they opened up one. So imagine you struggling to get to the bathroom, struggling to get back. They gave me one of those portable toilets, but I just did not feel comfortable, especially trying to go in a bedpan. It's a psychological thing. I can't it's almost like when I go out in public, I can't really go to the bathroom in public like I want to. I would love to be one of those people that can just go to the bathroom. If the bathroom is disgusting, I cannot pee. I've been to multiple retail stores and I cannot pee in a disgusting bathroom. I've been to Panera and the bathroom is disgusting. I couldn't do it. I literally will hold my bladder until I get all the way home or to my mother's house and go pee there. I can't. So it's the same in the hospital. I can't go in front of people, like the nurse, even though the nurse was trying to help. I had my mom and my husband and my sister get out. I can't go pee with y'all here. And it got to the point where I had to have somebody literally on one of those old lady walkers walk me to the bathroom because there was with the oxygen tank because there was no way I could go. So imagine all those situations. And by the way, I could do a whole video about Miraculous Ladybug because I watched the entire series at hospital and it's terrible. Terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. It's a love-hate relationship. I have a love-hate relationship for that show. I kind of continue watching because I wanted to see how bad the damage is, how bad. It's almost like it's so bad for me, it's good that I'm going to keep watching it, and their fan base is nuts. I thought Steven Universe was bad. Anyway, I could do a whole video if anybody ever requested about Miraculous Ladybug and the writing, but I had to keep watching it after I went to the hospital because Jesus Christ, that show. Anyway, so I'm going back to the point of vaccination. That's why I am I'm not pushing anybody to get vaccination. If you don't want to get the vaccination, because my sister don't want to get it because she thinks there needs to be more testing, which could have sworn the testing was done, but anyway, then that's your decision. But I'm choosing to get it because I get sick really easily. My immune system's compromised. I'm not, and here's the funny part before I get into the, the meat and potatoes of why you guys watch my vlog. What is that noise? I'm hearing this. It's the external hard drive. So I lost my train of thought. Gosh darn it. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to push anybody into vaccination, but I'm choosing to get it. Mask, that's what I was going to talk about. You know how people are like, don't wear masks, do wear masks, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. This is the first Christmas in a long time I have not caught a really bad cold, or potentially, a really, really bad cold or chest cold. No, about the second Christmas. Even if COVID-19 is over at this point, I'm not going to just not wear a mask in public, in certain crowds. I may not wear a mask during the summer because it's less likely to get sick, but during the wintertime, I might just wear a mask. Because especially during the holidays, people crowd each other terribly, and you don't know who's carrying what. I have caught stomach flus, like I said, stomach flus, bad colds, pneumonia, all that stuff from being around people in general, crowds of people. And of course, my husband will tell me, just stay home. But sometimes I want to go to the mall. If it's a real bad crowd, I first of all, I tend not to shop during the holidays because I get sick easily. But let's say I get invited to a family gathering or what have you, and it has to be in an outdoor place, and we have to be around crowds of people, I'm wearing my mask. Because even before the pandemic, let's just be honest with each other, people are kind of gross. And I'm not saying you guys are gross watching this or anything like that, but people in general are gross. There are too many people. I have gone into public bathrooms, clean ones, like at the AMC, the dining room, about 30 minutes out from my home. This chick who worked at the freaking AMC did not wash her hands before leaving the bathroom, even though it said right there in her face, "Employees must wash their hands." I'm just like, and of course I didn't want to be that Karen, but I was disgusted to say the least, and I was so glad the movie was over because I just wanted to get the hell out of there. And that's what I mean by people are gross. Target, the same thing. Please don't wash your hands. Or you have and I love children, but children are kind of goofy and gross too. You got kids like doing this with their nose and putting all over the grocery carts or the Target carts, or they put their hands on everything. They put their hands in their mouths and the kid gets sick and the mom gets sick and blah, da, 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 da. I go into GameStop. You got one snot-nosed kid putting their hand all over the game cases. Ugh. And I'm not I never consider myself a germaphobe, but I'm more aware of how nasty people are since the pandemic started. You think when you do, you think you would never be amazed by how gross people can be until this pandemic, and now I'm like that one clip of Cartman in South Park. I kind of watch it on and off. Where he was like, "Oh my god, I realized just how much it sucks to be around people. I'm gonna throw up all around cow." Blah, blah. I'm like, oh my god, I'm turning into that person. And I'll give you a great example. I went to the hair store because if you haven't noticed, I'm going natural. This is my 4C hair. It's really soft, brushed out. You know, eventually it's gonna get to that afro shape. One day it will get to the afro shape. One day, not today. And I went to the hair store. Like, there's a couple hair stores in the area. I went to the really big one because the big one has the certain products I'm looking for, because I had to Google and all that stuff. And they didn't hike up the price. I go in there and I'm sniffling because one of my nostrils closes up on me. There's something I can really do. I can blow my nose until the cows come home. Just kind of have to wait for it to open back up. That's just how it works. But, just being in and see, here's the thing, they give you in Pennsylvania, you could be X amount of occupants can be there at a time. We're at code yellow, blah 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 right now. I don't know if it's gonna go back to code red, who knows, because come summer I wouldn't expect people not to act like a jackass and go party when they clearly tell you COVID ain't over, but I digress. You're like this around people, and then you get this, I got this weird smell. At first I thought it was burnt hair because there's a salon right next door to the hair store. No, it was this person. And I'm like, why do you smell like this? That's all I'm thinking, like, why? I think it's me being inside so long. I think it's starting to mess with my brain a little bit. So now I'm like a little nervous to be closer to people now, know that, hey, you could give me COVID. My husband just had a family member who was a COVID carrier, and he got surgery for his lung cancer. So, and then he had an great aunt who passed away from COVID. So I'm a little paranoid of people right now. You think I wouldn't be with my outgoing personality, but I was. I was like, holy shit, these people are gonna kill me. So I have to learn to acclimate myself to be around crowds again, even if I go on a train, because like there's a conference I want to go to. They're probably not going to have it this year because of COVID. It's in June. And I used to get on the train, and at night I will be on a train with a whole bunch of crowded people because it's nighttime. If you work in Philly, that's kind of the area I'm going to say I'm from. I'm not going to dox myself. You take the train from Philly back to where you live, and it's always really crowded. Now I'm like, get away, please. So I got my purse on one side, and I feel like as soon as someone sits next to me, as soon as I get off that train, I'll have like a thing of Lysol, and I'm just spraying myself down because I've gotten to that point. I will have my mask on and everything. Even though people might look at me weird because I'm still wearing my mask, I cannot take that risk anymore. I've gotten to that point. I'm going to be 34 this year. I cannot take that risk of people being gross and getting me really sick. I'm done with going to the hospital multiple times. I'm done with the shot. I wish I could be done with the shots, but I can't. I'm overtaking 20 different medications because people make me sick. I mean, people don't, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be malicious. People don't go out there and intend to make you sick. For the most part. I don't know, people like Tana Mongeau and stuff. The influencers maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I think they're sociopaths, but that's between me and you. But I don't think people out there intentionally get you sick, but it's just that now I'm older, and the older I get the more I realize you can't, even though I'm only in my 30s, stuff changes when you turn 30. Let me just put that out there. Stuff changes when you turn 30. So, yeah, I do get a little paranoid when it comes to doing stuff like this. Being out with people because you don't know what you're gonna do. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of why you watch my vlog. It's because of writing, and let me tell you, I wrote 54 chapters. 54 chapters of this Nano story. I might not get finished till next NaNoWriMo at this rate. But here's the weirdest thing about the writing process. I had to get used to getting up in the morning, so of course I missed a lot of writing productivity. But then I grabbed last night, or the last 3 nights, I grabbed my Alpha Smart. I didn't, even though I have this big, beautiful, shiny computer that I can do everything on, it's still a huge distraction. So, or if I really don't want to be at my computer, because sometimes my body don't feel like being up for sitting in the desk chair, I'll use my iPad or I'll use my Alpha Smart to write. And I got so many words down just from using my Alpha Smart, it's ridiculous. So yeah, my productivity should be, I get disappointed and I feel a ways that I'm not getting better in the productivity department, but I had to realize I'm not, you have to get to the point where you realize you're not like a good chunk of the writing community. And I'm not taking shots at anybody or anything like that. Like one person that I'm on her live stream, Sarah Shaw Weaver, she works for a living. CJ, she works for a living. I believe Morgan does too. But then you get people who literally quit their full-time jobs. They have more moxie than I do. To quit their full-time jobs and then become a full-time writer. I haven't published one freaking book. And the disappointing thing is I got one first draft from from Nano 2 years ago that I still have to go and rewrite and reread. I have to finish this story. I want to finish this first. And the sobering reality is someone, I forgot who it was, said to me, when it comes to writing and your dreams, sometimes you're not always going to complete it the way you want to. And if you want to give God a laugh, tell him what you want to do with your life. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling with writing. But I haven't given up. But I do get days where I feel like I can't. And I think it's because I do have to get used to working in the morning shift, which means all my productivity needs to be at night rather than the day. I have been for at least last 2 years doing it in the morning. Now I got to do it at nighttime. So that's an adjustment I have to do. On top of that, the web novel, the original English light novel, which I've done a video about already. I'll put it up in the description above me. I still have to outline that, but that again, the way I have it planned out, that's probably not going to be until October or November at this point. October, definitely October, November, December. It's gonna be one of those later months. Maybe if I get this done. Like, this nano story is pretty much encompassing the entire year until I get this done. I refuse to give up on this story. That's where I am on that, right-wise. I also started it's really weird. I started on my TikTok page. I started 10K, hashtag 10K POC authors challenge, because let me just give you a little bit of tea on TikTok. TikTok has this thing where they kind of don't always highlight people of color on their platform. So we as people of color have to launch our own hashtags and our own campaigns. And I was part of the 10K Author Talk Challenge, and then I did started 10K People of Color Challenge. I don't think it got as much steam as the 10K Authors Challenge, but that could be because, you know, TikTok has this thing called shadow banning. And what shadow banning is, let's say you have one video that blows up and gives you over 4,000 views and possibly new followers. They'll just like completely stop letting your videos go to the For You page, and so you don't get a lot of people seeing it. Now, the good thing is I did have people in my TikTok following list that saw my hashtag and did a duet, and they just kept, and it kind of blew up from there. And it was amazing. And it's also sobering knowing that TikTok has this thing about African Americans in particular, or any person of a brown skin variety, mostly people of color. Even Native Americans I've seen get shadow banned, and it's ridiculous. And I'm not going to get to a whole debate over the racism thing and how TikTok treats their audience. You know, that's for somebody who does a lot of drama channels. I mean, I've been tempted to talk about the James Charles situation and, you know, the BeautyTube and the community as a whole, but I don't really feel like having pot shots taken at me. I already get pot shots taken at me on my regular 9 to 5. I don't need it in my personal life too. You know, that's how I am about a lot of things, because I do have opinions. Anything funny or wittingly saying, I do put on my TikTok page. I don't put it on my YouTube page, but I draw a line at certain subjects on YouTube or TikTok, because I already deal with enough heat, like I said, during the day for my regular 9 to 5. I don't need to bring it to my home too. You know, I already bring it in my home as work, but work and home are two different things. I like to keep work, and home. Much as I have enough moxie to deal with customers on a daily basis for customer service, I don't want to bring that type of drama into my home, you know, into my personal life, on my Twitter and all my other social media outlets. Screw that. I'm good. Much as I have a lot of things to say, I'd rather just talk to my husband about it and just keep it moving, or talk to like a friend personally and keep it moving. You know, someone who's not going to post it online. We just keep it amongst two people. Just you know, kind of screw that crap. Now, I am also, you know, while I'm on here, and this is going to be a long video, I do apologize. I am taking a pay cut because I'm no longer working night shift, so I don't get my shift change, which does kind of detrimentally lower my income. And I gotta get a new car because the airbag in my car, the sensor broke. So let me put it to you this way. I have a Hyundai Tiburon from 2004. We've kept it tuned up. It runs, the battery works. We just got a battery 7 months ago. The brakes still work. The axle was fixed. I lost because the axle popped off, which turns the wheel because of a pothole. Because unfortunately, here's the thing about living in Pennsylvania sometimes. Potholes only seem to get fixed during election season. Then again, that might be a whole countrywide thing. Stuff only seems to get fixed during election season. I'm gonna leave it at that. But the airbag sensor broke, so we don't know if the airbag's ever going to deploy. Let's say, God forbid, knock on wood, I ever get into a car accident. So it's at the point where I have to buy a new car. I have to. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. If I get in a car accident, that may be it. That car is old. The electrical system, and that's part of the reason why we're getting a new car. The electrical system, not just on the airbag, is failing. Like the door lights are not even really working. It's just, how long, the question is, how long do we keep fixing the car? The window doesn't work, which it hasn't worked for a long time, and at this point it's kind of like, screw it, to put thousands of dollars in. We put so much money into this car, and it's getting to the point where, how much more money should you put into a car before it's time to get a new one? I refuse to get a car note. I mean, let's put it this way. I'd rather not get a $20,000 car note when I can get a car for like $5,000 wholesale. And yes, before anybody puts in my comments, I know what I mean when I get into wholesale cars. You know, you're going to get what you're going to get. But if I had like I'm saving up money now. I barely go anywhere because of the car. I have to wait for my husband now. Even though he says I could just drive carefully, we both know I don't want to take that risk of getting myself killed out there. Anything can happen. So I drive the car maybe up the street to the pharmacy and come back, and that's it. That's as far as I go driving. So what I'm doing is I'm opening an Etsy store, and I'm selling, I should have brought the shawl in here, but they're corner shawls of different colorful varieties. I'm selling baby blankets, and I'm also selling one of my favorites, which is a snood. A snood is basically a hairnet. It comes with an elastic band, and you can put it on. So the bigger your head, the snugger it's probably gonna feel. But let's say you, like I have a big forehead. Okay, it didn't spread. That's what I was worried about. I put this on. I forgot. I left my other one out in the other room. And there's an elastic band. So basically, even if you stretch it out, it'll go back to retaining its same shape. Because we both, if you have a big head like mine, eventually it does stretch out. But this is basically one of the snoods I have. I'm going to put it on my Etsy store. I haven't put up the Etsy store yet. But once I do, I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to put it on my TikTok page too, because I need the exposure. But this is my snood, you know, just a regular snood, and I'm going to sell for probably $15. I know people going to think 15 is highway robbery, but I'm paying for, I bought 4 skeins, 4 things of pink, then I'm buying elastic band, and also you could get an additional flower that I can attach to this. And it could be, I'm gonna just zoom it in. This is what I'm selling, and then I can put like a flower that I can attach to the side, maybe right here if you want it, or a ribbon, like either like one of those crocheted ribbons, for an additional $5 more. I'm bringing this up because I'm at the point where I have to make some type of side hustle or something to help pay for bills, because they pretty much, COVID done screwed a lot of stuff up. And I'm not trying to use COVID as a 100% excuse for everything that happens in my life, but I am taking a pay cut, so I have to start doing something to supplement the money. I also, here's the thing, here's the funny part. I just want to start selling things so I can pay off some debt. And my smart husband had already put aside money for us getting a kitten. I said we should just hold off getting the animal until we pay our bills. But the point of the Etsy store is to pay off my personal debts, some of my student loan debt and whatever. So, you know, I kind of stay afloat because I'm not making as much as I used to. Much as we would love to get a cat, we both know realistically until stuff is paid off, it's not going to happen. You know, you can't have debt and then bring an animal or a child into your life. That's just, that's dumb. So you're going to add on more debt to the debt you already have. So again, this is one of the things I'm selling. It's a snood, and I'm going to put a flower if you want, or I'll put a ribbon on it if you want, and I'll put it in the Etsy store. It will come not just in this color, but I have like an off-white. I'm doing gray right now, a green, a mint, a white, a regular white. And then I'm gonna come with blues and purples and other colors. It depends on what the client wants at the time. But oh geez, this almost will be an hour video that I gotta edit. But that's kind of what I want to talk about. You know, my writing's getting better. I just have to readapt to my new life schedule. But it's, you know, the good thing is it is getting better. Even out in the country, the COVID's getting better. Eventually, we're going to get ourselves out of the situation. And the question will be, at this point, what's going to be our future now that this is over? I know for me personally, I can't go back to the way things were. I have to get to I'm at the point in my life where I just, you know, if you notice, this is cleaner. Usually I'm a messy person. You know, I keep clutter. Now, you know, my husband and I got to the point where we have to keep our house clutter free so my asthma doesn't get bad, because you know, I'm pretty much, or like, I'm like halfway to being a hikikomori or a shut-in at this point, because I don't go out due to COVID reasons, because people, like I said, are kind of gross. Even though I'm in a state where they mandate mask wearing, people don't always follow it. I had one person cough outside in front of a freaking Wawa because they were mad they had to wear a mask. That's how bad it's getting. And we're already into 2021. We're in March of 2021. And we're acting like this. So, yeah, that's kind of life for me right now. But, you know what? I talked long enough. If you like what you're hearing, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with me that long if you stayed all the way to the end of this video. Any links, anything you want to see, if you want to see my goofy TikTok ships, I said ships, you can always see the link in the description below, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Bye-bye.